There's a lot of news right now out there about this conflict with Iran. But before we get started on some things that I think you need to see, I want you to watch this first.
So now the United States was dragged into another war by Israel. 8 out of 10 Americans are completely against it. Did you know that last night the Omani foreign minister said that Iran had crossed its own red line, that it would give up its entire stock of enriched materials, agreed to zero accumulation, zero stockpiling, and full verification of their entire nuclear program. But Trump never cared about that. Our media never reported it because it was never about that. This was a sloppy rerun of Iraq. From our politicians to our media, same talking points, same urgency, same trust us. It didn't matter what Iran said or did. The decision was already made by Tel Aviv.
Iran has launched a wave of retaliatory strikes across the Middle East, targeting areas in Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates in Dubai. The senior Democrat on the Intelligence Committee in the United States Senate, Mark Warner, says that the United States misinterpreted the intelligence regarding strikes in Iran. Right now, a Shahed drone was seen impacting a high population area in Dubai, and a hotel, the Fairmont Hotel, caught fire as a result of debris impacting the hotel. A U.S. Navy center in Bahrain, according to NBC News, was struck by Iranian missiles. Unclear whether or not there are any American casualties. In Kuwait, we have confirmation from video footage posted online that the airport in Kuwait was impacted, and there are videos circulating of missile strikes possibly in Qatar as well. This is just the beginning of what will be a long and large war in the Middle East.
Hey, Iran, that wasn't black people. We ain't had nothing to do with that. That was not black people. That wasn't black people. We ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay.
Greetings, my BPPN family. This is Bold Perspectives Network. I'm Mr. Red. Now, you may have heard recent reports that the Iranian leader is no more. And this is kind of what was said in the beginning. You're going to get the headline to hear that, hey, there's some type of victory based upon this. You're going to see that people who are supposed to be on your side are going to cheer some of the stuff that's going on right now. But you have to realize that this war is no different than any other war that we've been a part of. It's always been a grand plan in order to completely take over the Middle East. And we have been used as the proxy to do it. This is why I say that this is not our war. And as black people, it has never been our war. More particularly for American citizens, this is not your war. And for a president that said that there'd be no new wars, it's funny to me that he allowed or authorized the change to the Department of Defense to the Department of War. When that took place, and when they got in front of all the generals and tried to tell them how they would also wage a war here domestically against its own American citizens, right there it should tell you that these people are hell-bent on essentially completely taking away every right, every due process, everything that made America, America. But as you have learned and black people have always known, it's a lie. The only people that don't know is the people who are booty sniffers for this president, cooning and tap dancing. These are the only people that don't get it. At this point, if you cannot tell that all of this is a distraction for them not to lose power and get out of office, for them not to be following the orders of a whole nother country, I have much to show you today. I've compiled a bunch of video clips for you today. I'm going to speak a little bit on it, but I'm going to leave it up for you to see for yourself that there's been an agenda going on, and it's time that we discuss it. Let's strap in. Let's get after it.
So a couple days ago, I asked you if we're heading towards World War III, and you said no. And now today you seem to be singing a different tune. Explain.
Well, there's just not very many options with this Iran thing. Our bunker busters, our best ones, are only capable of penetrating 200 feet underground. Iran's nuclear facility that we want to strike is past that maximum effective range. It's like 260 to 300 feet in the ground. So with our best non-nuclear equipment, we can't reach it. So that leaves only three options, which is one, a tactical nuclear strike, which I doubt we'd do. I mean, the world don't want that. That would be fucking crazy. Two would be boots on the ground, which I don't think he has public support for. But I'm already seeing the misinformation campaign starting on social media where people are like, I trust Trump to lead us to whatever decision. Entering another 20-year war would be fucking terrible. And third option would be to negotiate, which Trump claims to be a master negotiator, and he promised to end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours, and that shit's still going on. And I just don't trust this administration's ability to negotiate. And what leverage does he have over Iran? Iran's gonna want something in return, and is that nuclear capability? Because that's what they want. Like, there's really, I don't see any good options in this situation.
He said about diplomacy, and I just showed you in the opening clip that Iran tried to implement diplomacy. At least that's allegedly. I want you to remember that it was Trump who actually tore up the U.S.-Iran agreement on nuclear proliferation. They gave us access to their facilities. If we did not believe that to be true, then why would you tear up the agreement before getting in there and seeing what's going on? If you don't believe that, if you don't believe that Iran was being forthcoming with meeting the terms of that agreement, then let's look at the alternative. The alternative is it's not real. Their country has been wanting to start wars with this place for a long time. We have destabilized the whole Middle East, and you have to ask yourself, who does that benefit? Does it benefit us? Because what did it do? It put us in a 20-plus year war, in which case we didn't get anything from it. What did we get from going over there? What it did was destabilize the region to allow our ally, okay, it's not real, put forth their plan to start taking down these countries so that they can take over the whole region, control the oil, etc., etc. So when you talk about boots on the ground, again, this is putting more Americans at risk.
To anyone who doesn't know, America cannot win this war by bombing Iran. There's going to have to be a ground invasion. This ground invasion is going to be the bloodiest since World War II. China and North Korea have both started sending troops to Iran. This is going to be casualties that you cannot even fathom. The casualties are going to be through the roof. We're going to see C-130s coming home full of bodies. That's what America is looking at. I'm not proud of it. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying Iran is zero threat to America. Iran is a threat to Israel.
Britain has blocked the United States from using its bases, including RAF Fairfort and Diego Garcia, for strikes on Iran. And it's not just Britain. Saudi Arabia told Washington directly that its airspace and territory are off limits. Qatar, Kuwait, the UAE, and Bahrain have all refused to help Trump strike Iran. These are the countries bordering Iran, the ones with the most to gain from neutralizing Tehran's nuclear program. They are the ones most aggressively saying no to Trump. So last June, Trump's attack on Iran worked because it was a one-night operation with B-2s flying from Missouri. But a sustained months-long campaign against Iran, this requires forward bases for rearming and refueling. Every potential host nation told Trump no.
Thank God our Prime Minister has declared that we're not having anything to do with it. We are not participating in it. It's an illegal war. We are not going to allow them to use our bases or any of our sites around the world. I doubt, Paul, one single country will rise up and join the Israel-US attacks on Iran.
Australia's backed it.
Yes, but will they join in? This is the Epstein wars. It's so that Trump has got a reason to stop the midterms, and Israel has got a reason to stop the October elections as well. This has got nothing to do with defending the Iranians.
We get beside ourselves sometimes, and we need to be reminded. So let me remind you, while you're going to possibly get bombed, attacked, possibly killed, worst case scenario, your wife or your spouse get a phone call saying that this happened, or you get a knock on the door, casualty affairs. You get $450,000 and you can move on with your life. Remember this while you're away from your family. This is who you're fighting for. This guy. All of this is a distraction to ensure everything about this man and the people who stood next to him, to include the commander in briefs, don't get exposed. So while you're dealing with the shit, while your family is worried about you, this is who you're fighting for. This is who you could possibly die for. Him. It's so important to bomb a country that has done nothing to us, but yet this government performs fellatio for Israel. So they're like, well, let's bomb Iran, take the attention off of this. So put that picture over your wife and kids, or your husband or your husband, your wife, kids, husband, whatever the fuck. This is who you're fighting for.
As I've stated many times on this channel, this administration has everything to lose at this point. They have committed some of the greatest atrocities. And at some point, they should be held accountable to the full extent of the law for their involvement in this. All because Captain Stinky Pants has culpability. He is compromised. That's what these Epstein files mean. He cannot function without orders at this point because he will be exposed. And the stuff that I believe that he would get exposed for is bad enough that he would do anything to avoid jail. That man right there has ties, supposedly, to the country that we help out the most. If this was ever to get exposed, I believe it would tie back to one place, because that place has great influence on everything that we do here, so much so that we are fulfilling or what they feel is their destiny. And they're willing to go to great lengths to make that happen.
The reason that Donald Trump decided to bomb Iran was that the Israelis said, if you don't bomb Iran to take out these deep bunkers, we're going to use nuclear weapons. And they had never threatened that before. And so Trump said, bombing Iran might actually save us from the start of World War III if it keeps the Israelis from using nuclear weapons.
So according to your source, the Israelis told the President of the United States that if he did not use the United States military power to bomb the nuclear facilities in Iran, Israel, acting on its own, would use nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Do you see why there's a problem with that statement, John?
Yeah.
Because they've never fucking admitted that they've had them.
That's right.
So you're telling...
During Biden's administration, Israeli officials considered nuking the United States if we stopped supplying them with weapons for Gaza. Think I'm exaggerating? No. Take a listen to this interview from last month.
I was told by certain people in the government, look, we didn't have choice because we were being threatened with a complete cutoff of arms. I said, oh, I believe that the Biden administration, as I called it, did threaten us. But I said, you're mistaken if you think there's never a choice. There was a choice. He said, well, what? Is it to have our weapons cut off? I said, no, let me bring you back to October 1973, during the Yom Kippur War, when Henry Kissinger instituted an arms embargo against us. And what happened? What happened was an A-4 Skyhawk was parked at Tel Nof Air Base with some interesting weapons under its wings. And we told the Americans, take your eye in the sky and take a good look at the airplane that's on that runway. And the next day, the airlift started.
So in other words, we threatened their...
We threatened to use unconventional weapons. I'll leave it at that. And so he said, is this what you want us to threaten now? I said, absolutely, except this time I want us to go forward with it if necessary. If they think we're bluffing, we go forward with it.
That was Jonathan Pollard. He's an Israeli spy that spent 30 years in U.S. prison for sending U.S. intelligence to Israel. So that's what's really going on behind the scenes if you're wondering the truth of the relationship between the United States and Israel.
I said, but Bibi, I said, you can't be carpet bombing these communities. And he said to me, well, you did it. You carpet bombed, not his exact words, but you carpet bombed Berlin. You dropped a nuclear weapon. You killed thousands of innocent people because you had to in order to win a war. I said, but that's why we came up with the UN. New deals by which what would we do relative to civilians and military.
So he was comparing 21st century war tactics, battle tactics, with World War II.
Well, what he was really doing is he was going after me for saying you can't indiscriminately bomb civilian areas. Even if the bad guys are there. Even if the bad guys are there, you can't take out 2, 10, 12, 1,500 people, innocent people, in order to get the one bad guy.
If you take away the Soviet Union and its chief proxy, the PLO, international terrorism would collapse.
If you take out Saddam's regime, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region. Third nation, by the way, is Libya. Obviously, we'd like to see a regime change, at least I would.
And Iran exporting terrorism not only to every part of the Middle East, but to Venezuela.
By the way, what are we doing with Greenland? We got to do something with Greenland.
You have to wash their brains and tell them there's a higher cause out there. It's religious, ethnic, racial, whatever. And for that higher cause, you can disregard all the normal rules of morality.
Now, after everything that I just showed you, hopefully that you can put 2 and 2 together and see that the United States has been used in order to further advance the causes of another nation. It's not real. That's who we've been working for. That's who we've been working towards. It's not real. This man has been on a crusade to take out a bunch of people. This system needs poor people. It needs bad guys. It needs you to believe that immigrants are here to take your jobs. It needs you to believe that black people are the ones committing most of the crime. It needs you to believe that DEI is a real thing that benefits minorities and not white people. It needs you to believe that your neighbor is doing better than you. It needs you to believe that someone with brown skin is the problem. Because if you and I, even though we might be different races, ethnicities, whatever, if we were to come together, we would realize one thing, that there are the elites and then there's everybody else. You couldn't sniff near these people. They won't even be in areas that you could even walk near. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yet you have a whole political movement which has been funded. He told you. This man straight up told you. You're going to say whatever ethnic, racial, whatever thing it takes in order to keep us distracted and separated. So for all you that voted for this regime, for all you people that voted to have Trump in, you basically brought about our own destruction. And some people say, good, we needed it. But do you understand that the margin of error is small? And what they're banking on is that you ain't gonna do shit about it.
He fucking said this. Watch this.
Christian influencers, okay? He said, we talked about the woke right. And he said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke Reich, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane, they're loonies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community. They're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. And You know, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We have to fight the fight.
In the immortal words of Malcolm X, you've been had, you've been hoodwinked, run amok, led astray, bamboozled. Get your hand out of my pocket from this man. I'm off of TikTok. I got rid of everything off of TikTok, completely deleted it. And that's kind of hindered my operation a little bit. There is a concerted effort in order to influence how you think. And they did this through using the MAGA movement. We even know that through Jeffrey Epstein, that the whole Pizzagate thing was used to keep Hillary Clinton out of office. Made it seem like it was them, when the whole time the bad guy, the sheep, the wolf, was in sheep's clothing. His name is Donald J. Trump. And now they got X. And Elon, who's supposedly this friend, for a moment, put out where all of these influencers are. These people are all around the world on X, making posts that influence how you think and how I think, keeping us angry with each other. Do you understand how serious this is right now? Do you realize that this man just said that this is a war and they're using social media to do it, to make you and I think that we're on different sides of this? The whole time you're sitting there worried about my skin color or the skin color of someone else supposedly taking your jobs. And the whole time, this right here has been your real person that's been against you, using us. That should make you angry.
The Fourth Reich will fail. Donald Trump's administration will fail, and this is why. They don't learn from history. Every major empire in history fell for one basic reason. They expanded so far and so fast they could no longer control it. That's why when uprisings did start to happen, they didn't have the resources or the manpower to fight back. See, Donald Trump wants to start a civil war at home and deploy military into our streets against the people, but then he also wants to take over Greenland, which may trigger a war with Russia. He also wants to bomb Iran, which will trigger a war with China. He also wants to take over Venezuela and the entire Western Hemisphere. We don't have the manpower or the resources to pull this off, especially when we have no allies.
I want you to think about everything that you've heard thus far. We are being used. We are our manpower, our people. Everything we have always been used in order to be the proxy of it's not real. We have fought all of their wars. We have done all of the dirty work for them while they sit back and they continue to threaten us with the big stick, and we continue to fight their wars for them. And all of this comes down to a few dumbass people wearing red hats who call themselves Republicans, who call themselves patriots, who call themselves Americans. All of this because of your inner hatred for someone who has done nothing to you. That is exactly what we're doing over in Iran right now. We are fighting people that have done nothing to us, yet they are the sworn enemy of the people that we're fighting on behalf of. Think about that. We are not mad enough.
So I was wondering for like the past few days, I was like, why is nobody getting so mad about everything that's happening right now? And I have a conclusion. It's the reason why everyone's not so mad right now is cause race. We know everything in their mother. The stereotype, black people are thugs, Mexicans, they are criminals, Middle East, you're terrorists, Asians, you're whatever. Like there's a racial thing behind everything. When it comes to these people who are doing these vicious, horrible, satanic things, they are white. They're white. For so long, our world has seen white people as the number one. They're the perfect race to be born as. Blonde hair, blue eyes, remember that shit? And now look, the reason why y'all not mad is because the race that is doing all these vicious things, you can't see them as other than perfect. They are not perfect. These are the people that are doing the most vicious shit. If another race did this, everyone would be angry. Do all this racist shit. But now, yo, they worse than every other race right now. They worse than the gangs, they worse than the criminals, they worse than the The terrorists, they're worse. They're all of them. Stop seeing their perfection and see their humiliation. Humiliate them. They need to be done, bro. Not all white people, but just these people. These white people. Come on. These mayonnaise warriors. Come on.
Stay vigilant. Stay engaged. Stay revolutionary.